watched your show from time to time. I've seen your comedy. I thought you were better than... No, who am I kidding? No, I didn't. Hello, everyone. I am Nika Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite B in the alphabet, YouTube heartbeat. Why do I drop the B like that? Well, because I don't want people going, you went after an L, you're critical of somebody who's an L. No, I'm not critical of her life choices as I'm knocking everything off my desk because of my stream deck. No, I'm not critical of her life choices. I'm critical of what some of the producers on her TV show are doing today in this current, the past month or two. And you know who else is? Her staff. Her staff are very, very critical of this. Now, what did she do that deserves our wrath? Well, not so much her. And it's not so much what she did, it's what she didn't do. So now I can't really show you a whole lot of this because I'm trying to work around the bots on this one, as you know. But you know what we're talking about. We're talking about, of course, the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
I am Cornholio. I need TV for my bungo.
And, of course, so we're going to overlay one little bit of an image here to censor out anything that I might not be allowed to show, and I'm going to read the article over here. Now, this one comes to us from Variety. You ready? Variety magazine. Now, in an exclusive here, Ellen's crew are furious over poor communications regarding pay non-union workers during the shutdown. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are you so critical to these people? Well, I like to consider myself a bit of a consumer advocate, and when I see super massive levels of inequality, when people could, I don't know, if they really cared and out of the goodness of their heart could, I don't know, maybe share the wealth, sprinkle it down a little bit from here and there from their ivory towers, I get a little upset when they don't do that. I get a little bit frustrated when the plebs like me get attacked over being critical of it. Now, keep in mind, I'm not in a mansion somewhere. I'm in my apartment that I make about enough to pay for. I don't have security, handlers, PR, all of these people to protect me from death threats, to protect me from massive attacks and things like this. I don't have what they have at their disposal. So my criticism of them going around singing about fried fish from their mansions.
Let's go eat some fried fish. Come on, road and go.
Might be out of a place of, hey, you got it pretty good. I don't want to hear you complaining. And of course, we have heard that Ellen has been complaining about feeling like she's a prisoner. What about the people who work for you, sweetie? Seriously, did you ever think of them? I mean, here we go. I got to read this article. So if you want to check it out, it's from Variety. This one's written by Matt Donnelly. Crew members from Ellen DeGeneres' long-running daytime talk show are distressed and outraged over their treatment from top producers amid the numerous insiders affiliated with the series told Variety. The core stage crew for the Ellen DeGeneres show consists of more than 30 employees. They've received no written communication about the status of their working hours, pay, nor have they received inquiries about their mental and physical health from producers in over a month, say two sources, both of whom spoke on the condition of anonymity. Higher-ups in production would occasionally answer phone calls, but reveal little, added one of the sources. The crew was further incensed by the show's recent hire of an outside, non-union tech company to help DeGeneres tape remotely from her home in California. Oh, you know, the big one that feels like it's a prison for these people. See, this stuff, this is why I get out the writing crop and get a little critical of people, because you know what about the people who work for you? When I criticize Hollywood, I'm really not criticizing your grips, your lighting people, your gaffers, your craft services, your hair, your makeup, your visual effects, your all of that stuff. No, I get critical of the highest up and maybe the second. These are the people I'm critical of when I do talk about, you know, the people in Hollywood that I do have problems with when it comes to this type of stuff. And yes, Ellen does a lot of good work. She does a lot of stuff for charity. She does a lot of entertaining to lift people's spirits, just like James Corden. But at the same time, when I hear stuff like this, I gotta say something. When production executives finally did weigh in, nearly all crew members were told last week to break for a 60% reduction in pay, even as the show continues to air, according to sources close to the matter. Now, when you have something like that, where you have such a huge pay gap, you kind of need, and now this is my suggestion, you kind of need some set in place fund where your top little 1% are getting paid extraordinarily high amounts of stuff and could probably take a hit for a few months, whereas everybody else are just on living wages and can't take a hit for a few months and cannot take the stress to their bank accounts or their well-being for that matter. And don't get me wrong, I have it very, very good right now because I still can entertain you guys on YouTube. My life hasn't changed that much. I don't want to feel like I'm complaining about this. Don't make it seem like I am. I do try and take everything into perspective here. Only 4 core crew members currently work on the remote version of the broadcast, added insiders, who find this treatment to be totally inconsistent with Degeneres' daily message to her audience: be kind. Yeah, where are you being kind to your crew and your staff and all the people who help you make a show, help make you famous, help make you make all those millions so you can sit there crying that you're in jail from your home, which you haven't even seen half of because it's so large? Sorry, I don't have a lot of sympathy when I hear stuff like this for people who don't take into consideration people in their employ. You're responsible for putting food on the table and housing over some of these people's heads, like a roof over these people's heads indirectly by paying them a salary. They're not disposable people. This is the same thing with all the retail workers. This is the same thing with all the people at the movie theaters. This is the same thing with all the food servers. This is the same thing for everybody else who isn't getting paid right now. And this type of stuff really gets in my craw. Sorry. And I like using that word. I like saying it gets in my craw because it does. A spokesperson for Warner Brothers Television, which distributes the show, told Variety, our executive producers and Telepictures are committed to taking care of our staff and crew and have made decisions first and foremost with them in mind. Oh yeah, you want to keep them from spreading shit around, but what good is that if they're going to be dead in a ditch somewhere? Sorry! Realistically, you gotta think a little bit further than doing the very bare minimum here. And I'm talking everybody. Studio reiterated the crew has been paid consistently, though at reduced hours. For more than 2 weeks from late March through April 9th, crew members from lighting to camera operators to grips were left in the dark about how much they would be paid. Phone calls to crew members from production coordinators at Telepictures, the Warner Brothers unit that produces Ellen, were sporadic and often lacking any information before and after the 14-day blackout. The lack of transparency continued as Degeneres expanded her output from hosting 4 shows a week to 5, shot over 2 days, said individuals with knowledge of the schedule. Radio silence from producers created anxiety among crew members who feared they would be furloughed and, in that case, would need to explore unemployment benefits. Well, if you wait too long, there won't be any left. And that's another thing to be concerned about. A Warner Brothers spokesperson acknowledged that communication could have been better, but cited complications due to chaos. Yeah, everybody's in chaos. Still, we're kind of in this shit together. So yes, worry about entertaining people and getting Ellen back on the air. Let's just worry about getting Ellen and her happy ass back on the air while nobody else in her crew can. I mean, because that just gives us so much hope, doesn't it?
This kind of hope is an antidote to loneliness. This kind of hope is an elixir to stagnation. When hope is in the room, curiosity and introspection of even the harshest realities can be interrogated.
Yeah, with hope like that, I'd rather have logic on my side. Under normal circumstances, Ellen tapes 4 days a week, yada yada. The crew had been last paid in full for the week of March 19th, when the Warner Brothers lot was shut down. When returning from break, the crew was paid the week of March 30th, despite having no firm plans for production to resume, the spokesperson said. Pay was reduced to 8 hours from 10 hours per workday for the week of the 30th, insiders say. As of April 10th, the crew was told to expect reduced compensation of 2 8-hour workdays per week. In the hours following Variety's Wednesday request for comment on the reduced pay and lack of communication, word began circulating among the crew that they would be restored to their full 4-day work weeks. And of course, Warner Brothers came back and gave a statement saying the final hour count hadn't been finalized. Adding insult to injury, sources say that while most of the crew was left out of work with reduced pay, the remote production has hired Keycode Media, a Burbank-based audio-visual house, to help produce the technical elements of the show, while crew members with the same skill set sat idle. You already have people. Why hire somebody else? Oh, because you don't have to pay them by union. Got it. Each of Degeneres' crew is affiliated with the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees Union. Local union reps spoke with Ellen producers about the crew's concerns the week of April 7th, sources say, and reported back that their understanding was the union members would continue to be paid. The union rep advised the crew to, quote, watch closely, one person familiar with the exchange said. A union spokesperson did not immediately comment on the matter. The studio said the third-party hire was cleared with the union reps. So, due to the social distancing requirements, technical changes in the way the show is produced had to be made. We know that. But guess what? I don't have a crew. What's Ellen doing any differently than I'm doing? Only I have a microphone and a webcam, and a lot of these people don't. A lot of these people are just getting on their laptops with their crappy laptop mics and their crappy laptop cameras to do their shows. And I get that if that's what you have, but seriously, why continue to do the show? And I get it. People want entertainment. And that was one criticism I received was, why can't you just enjoy the shows that people are producing? And I say I don't watch them anyway because I prefer YouTube content or gaming or anything else other than a lot of these big Hollywood commercials for movies, because that's what a lot of these are. Every talk show that I have ever watched, and I watched a lot of them in my day, a lot of them, seems to be there just to advertise whatever movie the celebrity guest comes out saying. And we know that. We know that they're just advertisements for these films. This is why I stopped watching a lot of these things, because I don't need to be advertised to. I don't need to be reminded how likable a celebrity is because they know another celebrity and they got to touch their lightsaber.
That's like one of the perks of being a Jedi is you get to build your own lightsaber. Crazy. I was like, what? I just have things coming out of my hands. Like, I need a lightsaber.
See, I'm likable. Go see Captain Marvel. I'm likable. I'm totally likable.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm so sorry, Admiral Hubris. On her April 7th return to the air, Degeneres told viewers she, quote, wanted to start doing my new show as soon as possible. The host specifically said it was for all my staff and crew. I love them. I miss them. The best thing I can do is support them and keep the show on the air. So do that. Help support them. And here's where I have to break this to you, Ellen, that your crew and your production team don't have it as good as you. Maybe your high-up producers that you probably do have lunch with, you know, the super rich, wealthy ones. Those people probably have enough money to survive and just sit in their mansions for the rest of, 2 or 3 or 5 years or till the end of time. Your crew does not. A lot of your crew are living paycheck to paycheck and you know it. So either you are so disconnected with this or you're a phony liar. One or the other. I don't know. It might be a little column A, might be a little column B, might be both. You just might be completely unaware of this. Now, I don't want to get up your butt too much for this, Ellen, but seriously, if this is true, according to Variety, now this is coming right from Variety, so they're pretty legit. This is just not a very fair way to go about things in our current situation. Now, here I am trying to tell a celebrity what to do with their money, but I don't have to tell you that maybe, giving everybody a great big fat year salary bonus right about now would really brighten everybody's spirits. I know you could probably afford it if you sold off your guest house, but hey, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? You did earn it after all by being so entertaining to everybody. So entertaining all those years with your dancing. Oh, I'm dancing. I'm Ellen. I'm dancing. Look at me. No. This is why I don't watch her. I remember some of her comedy, that's about it. And she wasn't even the funniest one of the comedians. I found her to be very safe. And, of course, my type of comedy is closer to, Bill Hicks and George Carlin and Doug Stanhope, those sort of comedians. But, hey, Ellen, you do have a fan base. Maybe, look a little bit better in the eyes of your fans. There's more to this article, too. This is a little longer one. Sorry about that. More upsetting for many crew members is a lack of personal outreach from show leadership to check on longtime employees amid a health crisis. The stage crew operates separately from Degeneres' senior producers, writers, and assistants who occupy her office buildings on 19th on Burbank Warner Lot. Many of the key crew, however, have been with Degeneres since taping the show's pilot, which rolled out 17 years ago. So yeah, like I said, she's got her little inner circle that she's probably only sees and only refers to. Much like when I worked retail, they didn't know who the grunts were coming in at 6 in the morning or 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning. They didn't have any idea who was coming in other than the little high-up managers who had the high-up CEO executive-y sort of suits going around telling us everything, how we need to do more in 4 hours in a day. Yeah, I'm there. I worked retail. I have a chip on my shoulder. Of course I do. Because, no, things aren't fair. Of course not. Life isn't fair. No one ever said it should be. This just needs a little bit more self-awareness. And I think we can use this opportunity to get some self-awareness from some people who might not have much. Ellen! Talking to you, sweetie. Or James Corden. Or Madonna. Or any of these people. Confounded, the Ellen crew sought information from colleagues on similar shows, many of whom had opposite experiences from their said sources. Jimmy Kimmel Live stagehands were paid from host Jimmy Kimmel's own pocket. Initially, during the initial shutdowns, 2 insiders. So, now I've been hard on Jimmy Kimmel, a little bit hard on Jimmy Kimmel. We do have to commend when they do seem to step up. Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell have paid their tenants rent. Elon Musk is out there sending masks to hospitals. There are celebrities doing good, and I don't want to condemn and say all of them. So when I call out one, it's one specific thing. At least I try to, even though it sounds like I'm generalizing. 2 insiders familiar with that set, with Jimmy Kimmel's, and since returning to the air on network TV, ABC is paying their full rates. Last week tonight with John Oliver, for Frontal with Samantha Bee, Showtime show I can't pronounce, they're all getting full compensation and transparent communication and are paying full rates, sources said. Spokespersons for those individual shows declined to comment on the matter. Ellen is in a different category in TV as terms as daytime franchises and first-run syndication, meaning it is sold by Warner Brothers TV to a station on market-by-market basis. The creative, delivery, and economic hours, taping times, staff structures, etc. are completely different for a daily talk show, says Warner Brothers. Degeneres is one of the highest paid stars on television, earning more than $50 million per year from her Telepictures deal. Her total net worth is reported to be $330 million. Now, of course, that doesn't mean she's got $330 million in the bank. A lot of these celebrities shove it off to, investments and all kinds of things. They have homes, they have all kinds of stuff to pay as little taxes as possible, as you do if you have the money to do so, and to hire these people. But, how much would it really cost her to take $2 million and pay her staff out of her pocket? I'm just saying. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.